Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and in this video I'm going to show you how to put together August Stamp Club card packet. So we're going to start with this card here, and in your packet, this is the third card that I make for you, but let me, in your packet, so we need, the purple side. So I'm going to grab from the Highland Heather, trying not to mess up the edges of the designer series paper though. I got it all. Okay, here we go. But then out of the other side I messed up and I put one piece of paper on the wrong side, so there's two pieces of cardstock. That is the specialty wood grain paper. You want the larger. There's one that's the exact same size as the basic white and one that's a little bit bigger. We need that one. So let's go through the pieces just to make sure we have all the right pieces in our packet here. So we have the Highland Heather Designer Series paper that's scored twice. We have our Designer Series paper. We have a piece of basic white. Now this is just a quarter sheet of paper. This is what we're going to do our stamping and die cutting, some die cutting on there. And then of course we have the wood grain. We just take some pecan pie, another basic white that's 2 inches by 5 3/8, a little piece of basic gray, some purple glimmer paper, and then a little white piece. And to be honest with you, I can't remember what the measurements are. If you want to see the measurements for my cards, you could go to my gallery at becreativewithkathy.com, and it's August Stamp Club. You just scroll down until you find that one. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to set all these little pieces and parts aside, is we're going to cut our Designer Series paper. Now, I've had some issues making my videos, so I don't have any more of the same paper that we use, so my Designer Series paper is a little bit different. The first thing you want to do is you want to decide, like I like this top, I want more of this up here to show than down here, so I'm going to cut this part off, and I'm going to cut it to 5 3/8. So right now it's 6 by 6, so it's going to be 6 by 5 3/8 when I cut that little bit off here at the bottom. So we're going to lose about that much. So now we have it 6 by 5 3/8, and we're going to cut it down to 3 2-inch strips. So there's one. So like I said, I'm just lining it up at the 2 inches, and now I have 3 2-inch strips that still go in order. Okay, let's bring back in those two pieces of white, the basic white, this one, well, 3 really, that little tag and this one, and we'll do some stamping really quick. Now, I'm going to color with colored pencil, so, well, and that I shouldn't really use. I should use StazOn, but since I have a photopolymer stamp set, I'm going to use Memento black ink, and I'm going to stamp all the pieces I need for both cards. Okay, so I know I need 2 birds, and let me show you. I did a sample here. So this is really what you need. Whoop, let me get in the camera. This is really what you need to get out of this piece of paper. Now, I've showed you other ways to decorate the birdhouses, so I gave you a big enough piece. If you don't want to use this little flower, there should be plenty of room on there if you want to use the other flower. But I'm going to stick with this cute little flower here. So we need 2 birds, first of all. 1, 2, right? And then I'm going to stamp 4 little flowers. Now on my card, I changed my mind and I only put 3 on there. And I don't know where the sample is with the 4th one, but I'm going to stamp 4 just in case I want to put that extra little flower on the front. Okay, and then when we die cut these, we'll need to cut out that scalloped topper. Whoops, I almost forgot. On the inside here, this is going to be our inside piece right here. I'm going to stamp that other little flower just right here in the corner. And then while I have all my ink out, I'm going to let those dry pretty good. I'm going to go ahead on this little tiny strip right here. I'm going to stamp that happy birthday. And I want to practice one time. You grab a scrap paper just to make sure. And yeah, okay. I might get my head in the camera, so you have to excuse me, but I want to make sure it gets nice and centered in there. Okay, no more head now. And then we have our little happy birthday just like that. Okay, for now, that's all the stamping we're gonna do. Set those aside, let those dry. Let's, well, I guess we should color next. So let's bring in, like I said, I'm going to use the color pencils. Now in my box here, I have all the assortments. There's assortment 1 and assortment 2 in Stampin' Up's colored pencils. So they're both just stashed here in my box. I want to use, first of all, Granny Apple Green. That's a color that's in our designer series paper. I want to use Glorious Grape because of the purple that we're making. And then I think for my bird, I'm going to make it look like a robin redbreast. So I'm going to use Real Red and Early Espresso. Now for my second bird, I'm going to make him just cutesy. So I'm going to put him, this one I did yellow and pink, I think. But this one I think I'm going to do yellow and, yellow and, too many colors to decide from. Let's just go with the same thing, and I'll do the yellow, and I'll use some, no, that's Flirty Flamingo. I want the Melon Mambo. I'm going to use that color. Oh, and I need my color lifter from the Stampin' Boards. Okay, so quickly here, we'll start with this little guy here. I'm going to just scribble some pencil on there. And we might as well do all the purple one at the same time. Now, I've already done a lot of the die cutting in advance, so you don't have to watch. So I'm not going to bother to color these. I have them ready for us, so you don't have to sit and watch me color forever. I'm going to take my color lifter and just smooth those pencil marks out and make sure I get all the edges and do a good job for my little flowers here. Do this one too. The color lifter, I think, because it's alcohol base, is a little, like, maybe I have a heavy hand, but I think it's just a little less rough on your cardstock. But you still have to clean the ink out of there. Although I don't think it picks up as much as the blender pens, but you still have to clean your pen between colors so it doesn't contaminate or, you know, get the colors where you don't want them. So then real quick, we're just gonna color that little leaf, this little leaf. And I'm gonna go ahead and quickly blend that one. Whoops, must not have been dry, smeared my ink a little bit. But okay, there, our flowers are done. Whoop, clean our pen. Let me work on the birds. I'll work on my robin first, so I'm going to just take a little bit of brown here and just get the top of my bird. And then a little bit of that Real Red. Okay, and then take my, now this I'm going to kind of blend those two colors so that his tummy kind of blends into the back of him like this. And look how cute he is there. Okay, we're going to clean that out. Now do our other bird real quick here. So I'm going to do like I did before and just do a yellow bird. With a little bit of pink. I don't think I have, I should have taken better, I don't think I have the birds cut yet, but I could be wrong. Okay, and then we're just going to blend those two together. And then the last thing I want to do, first of all, is I want to take my yellow, and I'm gonna color his little beak here. And then I'm gonna get out a pumpkin pie and color the beak of my other bird, so it's not yellow on yellow. Oops, dang, we have a little bit loud of noise there, but we have a little bit of more color on him. Okay, but then the last thing I like to do with my birds is I like to take my color pencils here and now just give it a little bit of shading. So I'm using point, you know, and trying to get a little bit more, it's a darker shade on those lines, and let's see if you can see it. So then he has some shading and looks more defined. It just gives it more character, I guess you would say. Okay, so now my birds are done. Let me show you, because like I said, I've done most of the die cutting. So let me show you what pieces you need to die cut, and then we'll cut some of those little birds out. Okay, so on this one, and I'm going to get some green tape here. And where did my dies go? First of all, I want to make sure that I have this scallop piece up here somewhere. I'm going to stick mine in the corner so it takes up less room. And then our little bird here, and just kind of hover it around till you don't see any more white around the black lines. I'm going to tape him down. And then that other little, here it is, for my little flower here. Okay. Let's bring in the cut and emboss machine. And I cut those pieces out. Are they in camera so you can see? Okay, I'm gonna look through my scraps here and see if I already have another little bird so you don't have to watch me cut that out. So the other pieces that you will need to die cut are, this piece is fine, this piece is fine. Here's our scraps of designer series paper, but this piece here, this one here, this one here, and where did my gray, here he is. And this piece, am I all in camera? There we go. Let me show you what you have to cut out. This one, we want to cut out a top of the house and what I call the planter of the house. This one here, we're going to cut out this, and you don't need to cut out the circle for this house. Usually we put the circle there. We don't need it this time. We need this little stand here in that basic gray. And then of this purple piece, blue, the glimmer, we need that scallop top again. We need the circle that we usually cut out of this one. And then in the die set is that itty bitty circle like that. We need that one cut out of that too. So let me go through my little pieces here and find them all. So there's that one. There's this one, this one, this one. And when you cut, when you take the little circle out of here, try to make it so the center stays in there. We want to keep the circle looking like that. At least I do. Of course, it's your card. If you want something different, then by all means, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, that's all the pieces that we need. I'm going to set this little scallop top aside. We don't need that for this card. We need it for the next card. And I was trying to see if I have, here I do have another little bird. He's not quite like I colored him on the other one, but he'll work. Okay, let's clean up now and start assembling the card. Okay, so let's go ahead and put down our pieces onto our card base. I'm gonna first of all take it and fold it in half. Make sure I have a nice crisp fold on there. And then I'm gonna fold this piece. Let me make sure I get it right. No, I have it the wrong way. This way, there we go, and then this one back. So that's just our fancy fold right there. Fold it, it's closed, and then back. Okay, then our designer series paper, let's try to get it back in the same, or the right order. Whoops, I think it goes this way. No, it goes this way. There we go. So I'm gonna lay this down on my card. The first section goes here, and then here, and then on the inside, this piece will go here, and this piece will go here. Now, when you're putting down your designer series paper, just remember small borders. It's not the normal 1/4 inch border. They're a little bit smaller. But I'm gonna just take and layer. Those pieces of designer series paper. I didn't get a very good border on that one, but I think it'd be okay. So there we go. Now we have our card that opens and closes like that. Okay, let's put our house. Oh, I forgot we have to stamp one more thing. On this little house, on this little house topper, I'm gonna use some pecan pie. And let me show you in the stamp set. There's this little piece here that looks like a wood grain. We're gonna stamp that on here. And now my suggestion, that little stamp, it has one side that's kind of like square over here, and this one is kind of pointy. I'm gonna take that square side, although it's not really square, I don't know how else to explain it, and start at the top here. Maybe my head's in the camera. And then I'm gonna turn it over and do it this way. So then you have that little wood grain, come on camera focus, there we go, on your house topper, not the house topper. There we go. So now I almost forgot that part. Now we can put our house together. Okay, so on this little piece, I'm going to use mini dimensionals and just put, you know, along the top so I can stick it to my card. And the mini dimensionals fit on there just right. But you could also, if you don't have mini dimensionals, you guys know this, you could also just cut a standard dimensional in half and put it on that way. But if you don't have the mini dimensionals, I just want to know why. I think mini dimensionals, wait, that one didn't work right, are the bomb. Okay. Here we go, and I'm going to just take this and line it up here at the top where it goes. Just like that. This I'm going to take, and you know what, hang on, I left my glue bottle at the other table. Let me grab it. Here it is. But just on this is the shimmer purple piece. I'm going to just take a little bit of liquid glue here. So this way I can kind of slide it into place. So right here. And then this little circle that still has the inside in there, I'm gonna put it where it belongs, just where the birdhouse door or opening would be. That. And then this little one is gonna be, it's not cooperative, there we go, just like a little perch right here. Okay, let me find my little purple flowers. I forgot about those. There we go. Because next I'm going to put just a little bit of glue here at the bottom and attach those to the perch here. All right, little flower, stick to my card. There we go. And then one more on the other side. Okay, then with this one on dimensionals, like this, and then lay this on top of those little flowers, and then to me it looks like they're growing out of like the planter or something like that. And look how cute that is. A little bit of liquid glue on the back of our happy birthday, and we'll just put that in the center, well, of that piece now I call the planter. Make sure it's not upside down. I thought there for a second I was gonna glue it on there upside down. So there's our house. Okay, now we need to attach our little house to our card, and I really want to go from this point here down to the middle here, so I'm only going to put adhesive on this side here. Now if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of adhesive here. In fact, I think I'm going to just a little bit so my flowers are stuck down too. Now, drum roll so I don't glue my card shut. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Yikes, I've got ahead of myself. We need to put this piece on first. So in this case, I put it on this way, right? So it looks like it's the base of the birdhouse, but you can also put it on this way. Now, if you put it on this way, you have to make sure that there's enough room for your, there's enough room for your birdhouse to fit on your card. Plus this, you might have to trim off a little bit at the bottom, but this way you can put the birdhouse on top. So I'm gonna put it on this way so you can see the two different ways. And there again, I'm not gonna put any glue on this side. I'm gonna just put glue on that base and then a little bit over here. And then glue this down like that. And I did it with the bottom of the card just so there's a little bit more room for the birdhouse. Now I'm going to take that birdhouse and put him on top so it looks like, try to get him straight. Make sure there's no glue here, which there's not. I did pretty good. And there what it looks like that. And now it's all stuck down and it's on this. So you'll have to decide which way you would rather have that little stand at the bottom. Okay, so let's put our little bird on. Well, this is where, if you want a few more flowers or to decorate a little bit more, this is where you could put that little flower, the extra one we cut right there. But I'm going to take my little bird now and I'm going to just put a dimensional on there. And stick him right on the perch. And then last, and of course not least, I'm going to take my Wink Stella and I'm going to just put a little bit on my bird. Now Wink Stella we'll pick up that colored pencil. So if you're worried about getting them mixed up together, make sure you clean your Wink of Stella just like we did our blending, our color lifter, so it doesn't get the two colors mixed up and have brown instead of purple or green, and I'm going to just put a little bit here like this. And don't forget this guy on the inside. Just gives it that nice little finishing touch. So there you go. So there's card number 1. Like that. Okay, ready for card number 2? Card number 2 looks like this. And I cased this from Jackie Bolhuis. So Jackie Bolhuis, first of all, thanks for sharing. That's what the back looks like. Let's get our pieces and parts out of our packet. There we go. So let's go over the pieces and parts in this and what we need to cut for this packet. Okay, so we have our this would be our card bases, 2 pieces of basic beige. Then you have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are like the white and tan or like that. Set those aside, we'll need those later. There's your piece of wood grain specialty paper, and then this one is going to be the back that we cut, this back here. So we're going to stamp on that first. Then you have your little piece of black. We don't need that for anything. I did cut, there's a sister stamp in this, well, there's a sister bundle in this suite, and I cut out a couple leaves. I should have it here, but I don't. Whoops, sorry. But I cut those out. Now, if you don't like those leaves, I gave you a piece of green, which I realize is the wrong color, but will still work, that you can cut your own leaves out. I'm not going to. I'm going to use these leaves here. And then die cutting wise, we need to die cut again. Oh, not this one. We're going to stamp on that one. This one here is going to be the house. Right? This time you do need to cut out that little circle from the inside. So it's going to look like this when you're done. All right, this piece here, we're going to cut out those 2 again. This piece here and this one. So we have that one. I hope, oh yeah, here it is. And I have this one. And then from these pieces, we'll need all those little flowers. And I use the flower that looks like this. So let me hold it up there. Can you see? Like this? And there's 2 sizes. There's a small and a large. And I cut 3 of the large from this petunia pop. And I cut 3 of the smaller ones from this pretty in pink. Hopefully, yep, there's the other guy. Like this. So there's all the pieces. And then you saw me bring back in that scallop house topper. We need that one too. Okay, so after you cut all your pieces, let's go ahead and assemble. No, let's stamp first. Let's stamp on our card and get that done. Okay, I have all my little pieces here. So on the back here, I'm going to do mine a little different. That's what this is. Well, no, I'm going to do it the same. I'm going to bring in that black memento ink. Whoops, yikes, did you hear that? I almost broke it. Oh, and I don't have either one of these stamps out on blocks, so let me get the stamps. We're going to use this cluster of flowers here, and then we're going to use this Hello Friend here. You know what, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp Happy Birthday on mine too, because I send out way more birthday cards than I ever have enough of. So with that Hello Friend, I'm going to just take, and of course practice once on my scrap paper. There we go. Just stamp that about there. Nice. Whoops. That cluster of flowers. Find another block. And I like those two little flowers to be going up because then that way they look nice and happy. Okay, like this. And then that happy birthday, I'm gonna take that, make sure I stamp it right. I'm gonna practice once. And then I'm gonna just stick my happy birthday. Where does it fit? I should have moved my flowers over. Nope, I'm gonna go right there. That'll work. That looks really cute. Okay. So I'm gonna let this dry. So let me go ahead and put our birdhouse together. Let me turn this over so you have a reference. You can see what we're talking about. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a little bit of liquid glue and just put a little bit in the four corners here. And then just set my house right over. So this way it looks like it's dark inside, or that's the opening for the house. This time I didn't pop them up, although you're more than welcome to. I just put these pieces flat. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Set this on top of our house where it goes. It's almost like a puzzle piece because they have those that where it fits, like where it has the space for it, so it fits just right on there like that. Okay, that little scallop piece we'll put right underneath that wood grain. Look how cute it is. I think it's really cute. And this I'm going to put flat on there too. So there's our little birdhouse. Now let's assemble the card because I think it's easier to add all those pieces and parts to our birdhouse after it's already on the card. So maybe we color this. Well, I'll color this later. I did take my Coastal Cabana pencil. Nope, that's not the right one. But Coastal Cabana, and I colored the flower part. There we go, like this in Coastal Cabana, and just a little bit of Melon Mambo. So that's how I would color that. And I think this was Old Olive on the stems. But I'm not gonna make you watch me color that. I'll color that later. Let's bring in this piece here and this piece. Now this is our card base. This is what's gonna give us this fancy fold like this. And we don't have to do a bunch of extra cutting. This is gonna make it just a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to fold. I'm gonna turn it over so my bumps are on the inside. I'm gonna fold this up, and then I'm gonna turn it over, and then I'm gonna fold that piece up again. So did you see how I did that? It's got the bumps to my score lines are up. I took this bottom and folded it up, and then I turned it over and I fold this up. And then I'm gonna take this piece here and just fold it back. So now we have, and I'm gonna get some crisp fold lines on those score lines, or crisp folds on those score lines. Is that what I said? I don't even know. And then this piece, we're gonna go ahead and fold in half. Okay, so let's attach our designer series paper. I'm going to take this piece, and you can see this is the front, this is the back with that fold piece here. I'm gonna take this piece and put it here, and this piece and put it here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our adhesive on there, and I'm going to just use tape runner on here. Maybe my fingers are sticking. Okay. Like I said, we're gonna lay this on this score line here. And when I'm done, I'll open it up and see if that doesn't help you to show where to put your designer series paper. And hopefully you can see the score lines here on the camera, but it's gonna look like that. And then when you close it up, it looks like that. Okay, now this piece here, this wood grain is gonna fit nicely right there on the front of that one. Lay that here. And then that stamped piece is gonna go on the back. And I'll open this one up and show you too, but it doesn't matter which is, they're the same, so it doesn't matter which piece goes on which, but it would look like that. Okay, now we're gonna take this piece and stand it up like this. This just goes over the top. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna glue this down to the bottom and try to get it in the center. So I'm gonna just cover, I'm gonna kinda do it something like this. And that way I know where my tape needs to be inside here. And then just take this, let's see if I can get it centered pretty good, and making it straight at the bottom down here. No, that's not very centered. We have to move over just a hair. Let's see. There we go. Close enough, right? And then we're gonna just turn it over and put some tape here. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of tape at the bottom so it doesn't have to stick to the whole thing. It can look just like that. And then there's your card and it stands up like that. Okay, now let's decorate our house. I'm going to put some dimensionals, excuse me, on the back of our house here. Oh, I'm getting a little crazy with the dimensionals, but at least it'll stick nicely to the card. And then just center that right here. When you do this first, now you'll know these leaves can stick off on the side, on this side and this side, but they can't stick off on the bottom or you won't be able to fit it into an envelope. So when I put my leaves on there, I'm gonna be mindful that it doesn't go past the bottom edge of my card. And I'm gonna put a little bit of glue just like on the inside, so then I can kind of tuck my bird in there. And I think I want it to go more like this. I lost my bird. I did lose my bird. Yoo-hoo. Did I put him? Oh, I put him back in the little cart. Okay, because then I want to tuck my bird, like maybe his feet in there and his bum out. So it's going to look something like that. So let me put a little bit of glue here on my leaf. And it's not going to look the same twice. I have trouble. I don't know. I'm going to just stick it down like that and say, call it good. Nope, I need a little bit more. Here. I think I can tuck my bird under there now. And then this one, oh, I bent my leaf back. I like these little clusters of leaf. I think they're really cute. And like I said, it comes from the sister die cut that is in this suite. Okay, put that down. And now I can tuck my little bird. I think I like him better this way. I think I'm gonna tuck him in just like that. And now since he's going behind there, I'm gonna just put him on flat on my card too. There we go. Okay, now for my flowers, and I'm looking around. I need my foam mat. That, of course, is at the other two. Here he is. So I'm going to use my Pierce mat here. And my Take a Pick tool lid. I'm going to lay my flowers. First of all, I'm going to glue them together. So I'm going to take that big one, which is the petunia pop with just a little bit of glue in the center. Put those down together. I think they layer really nicely, and I do love these two colors together. And I thought that the darker color looked better on the back, but your piece of cardstock is much, you know, you have lots of room. You could punch all kinds of flowers and just play with it and decide. Now you see I'm taking the end of my lid and I'm just pushing down in the center, and that way it's going to give my flower just a little bit more curve. Okay, now let's just glue those to the front of our card where we need to cover up the bare places, or if you happen to have a tear in your little leaves or something like that. But we're going to just lay those 3 layered little flowers. I think I like him right there. And then the last one, I think I'm going to just lay it right here. They're together, kind of clustered. There you go. Okay, and then last we have our little rhinestones here. I'm going to just place those in the center of my flowers. Like that. And there's card number 2. So alrighty, that's what we have for Stamp Club. There's the one card. Here's the other card. I don't know where the other sample, oh, here it is. And there you go. Oh, and then there's the 3rd card that I made for you. All right, if you have any questions, you need any help, be sure and reach out and let me know. And I'll see you back here next month for next club. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.